Hey guys, welcome to Bake Me Happy. This week we're going to be making a surprise inside polka-dot cake. So what we're going to use today are 2 vanilla cake mixes. You can use butter cake or white cake, but we've just opted for vanilla cake today. And whatever your manufacturer has on the back for making those cakes, which for me is 2 eggs and 2 cups of water. And then we've also got some colours, and that's about as easy as it is. So I'm just going to make both of my cake mixes in the same bowl. So I'm just going to add all of those ingredients. And then we're just going to mix that until it's completely combined. So we've mixed our cake batter completely. Both of the packets are in there. And we've got 4 mugs. You can use bowls or cups if that's what's easier, but this is what we've got 4 of today. So we're probably going to put about 1/4 of this batter into all of the 4 mugs and divide it evenly and then colour it back. So I'm going to do that and then we'll come back to colour. So now we're just going to add a couple of drops of each colour into the mugs. When you're using gel colour, you can use a whole lot less and it makes the consistency of the cake stay the same as what it was when you got it out of the packet. But when you're using the liquid colours, you do have to use a bit more to get a more vibrant colour. So now that we've got all of our colours mixed in together and they're all quite vibrant, we're going to use a cake pop maker, which I've got here. But if you don't have one of these, you can just use some silicone cake molds and then bake it in the oven. But basically what I'm going to do is fill each of these holes with a tablespoon of the mixture that we've got here and then shut it until the light turns green. And then we'll have a look after they're cooked. So the cake pops have been in there for about 5 to 6 minutes now. And we're just going to take them out. I've already taken one of them out just to make sure that they're completely cooked through. And we're going to put them onto our little cooling tray and let them rest while we do the next batch. So I've finished making all of our cake balls and we've got them all completely cooled down here. So I've greased 2 6-inch cake tins. These are aluminium ones. They kind of cook cakes evenly, which is ideal for already baked in cakes. If you want to use 3 and make a 3-layered cake, just add an extra packet of cake to your recipe and then do exactly the same thing. So what we're going to do now is just kind of randomly space the coloured balls around between the cakes. Try to get an even number of each colour. You can probably fit about 8 or 9 cake balls into each tin, but it's up to you whether you want a lot of colour or not a lot of colour. So once you've randomly placed them around in the position that you want them, just kind of put them randomly in if you like. I've got about 9 or 10 in each of the tins and I've got quite a few left over, so if I did want to put more in then I could. But now what we're going to do is pour our leftover batter just over the top and try to spread it evenly between the 2 tins. Alright, so we've got our cake batter in there, and what you're going to do now is make sure that you've covered all of the cake balls that you've put in there that are already pre-cooked. And you want to make sure that they've come away from the edges just to make sure that they don't get overbaked or dry out in the oven. So we've got that all covered up and you can see that I've covered every single coloured ball just with a little bit of cake batter to make sure that it doesn't start baking before the cake starts rising. So we're going to bake these in a 140 degrees Celsius fan forced oven, or just bake it according to your packet instructions. Take a little bit of the time off. So this one is a 50 to 60 minute cake, but we're going to bake it for about half an hour to 40 minutes and then we'll come back and see when it springs back. So now we're going to make a buttercream frosting just to ice our cake. So we've started with 200 grams of butter in our electric mixer and we're going to whisk it for about 5 minutes. So we've whisked our butter for about 5 minutes and it's a lot lighter in colour and it's really, really light and fluffy in texture. So now we're going to add 4 cups of icing sugar or icing mixture, whatever's easier for you. So we're going to sift that through a fine sieve and we'll come back when it's all incorporated. So you can see that it's made quite a thick buttercream icing here, and what we're going to do to thin it out is just put a little bit of milk in there. That'll give it a little bit of extra creaminess as well. Alright, so we finished our buttercream and it's nice and creamy and it's quite a light colour. So now we're going to assemble the cooled cakes. We've had this on the wire rack for about 15-20 minutes and I've decided that because there's lumps on the top, we're going to ice it so that they're together. So we're going to start with just a tiny smear of icing, just to make sure it doesn't move from the plate. And we'll pop that down. And then we're going to put a little bit of icing in between to join. And then we're going to put this so that the bottom is facing upwards. And we're going to add a crumb coat, which is just a really thin coat, just to make sure that none of the crumbs get into the final icing layer. Okay, so that's been in the fridge for about 15 minutes and it's got a bit of a crust on the buttercream, so when you touch it you can't really see that you've touched it. So we're just going to finish it off by adding the final bits of our buttercream and smoothing it all out to make a nice smooth finish. So I'll be back when I've finished icing the cake. So I made this cake for my friend for her birthday as a surprise. So as you can see here, it looks like a normal cake from the outside, but as soon as you cut into it you can see all the colours. I was really impressed with how it turned out. Thank you guys for watching Bake Me Happy this week. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more from me, make sure you click subscribe, like this video, comment what you'd like to see down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!